Alright guys, thanks for joining me. I just wanted to make this quick video concerning how like Satan and I suppose us have been waiting for like nearly 6 years. Like prophecy has been in limbo, has been paused if you like. It's in limbo for like nearly 6 years, and it'll be 6 years in September. And Satan incarnated, Barack Obama, has been waiting 6 years for this event to occur. And what we're waiting for? We're basically waiting for the manchild to be caught up to the throne of God. You'll find this written in, it's basically the main premise of Revelation 5, where he gets caught up to the throne of God to receive the inheritance of the earth, which is in the form of the scroll with 7 seals. So yeah, of course, the 7 seals have not happened yet. So that's another reason backing up why we're still waiting on this, because the seals haven't happened yet. The Antichrist hasn't been crowned king. War hasn't outbroken from Israel. Markets haven't collapsed. Home of the Rock hasn't been destroyed. America hasn't been taken down by North Korea. And definitely the throne of God hasn't hit at the 6th seal either. For the first passing. So you can tell that the inheritance event hasn't happened yet. And this will continue Revelation 12. Now this has already started. All this really started in, I suppose you could call it around Tevet 14th, but of December 2016 through to 17. In fact, when Obama, Satan incarnated, Barack Obama, Mr. Lightning from the Heights, when he gave up office to Trump to be like the fall guy, I believe. I believe that they believed that the seals were going to happen and they were going to start their new world order with Trump. Because in the Simpsons it says that Trump, oh look, Trump is bankrupt, and you see a market collapse thing happen. That had happened during Trump. Well, Trump was in for 4 years and the seals didn't happen. And one of the seals, seal number 3, is market collapse. So I believe that they believed that the seals, their new world order move, was going to happen under Trump, and obviously it didn't. So they were expecting within a 4-year period of that, when Barack Obama left, at least, that they were going to start their new world order. In fact, in 2020, he came to me. That encounter I had for 7 days, he said I had to die before he started his new world order. Now 2020, yeah, I mean, that would be within 4 years as well. But how it all began anyway is that when the king planet Jupiter came in to Virgo, the Virgin in the heavens, he came in December 2016. And then January 2017, Obama was gone. Well, he left when the woman became pregnant in the heavens. All right, and then 9 months later, with Jupiter still in Virgo, the Virgin, the king still in the woman, like the baby would be in the womb of a woman. He was there all the way until that Revelation 12, sign in the heavens was complete. The woman, the virgin, clothed in the sun. Of course, that can only be in 1 month, which is like September. And this happened on September 23rd. That was the day that this was complete. A woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. As the 3 planets came moving in, and they created a perfect crown with the 9 stars of Leo and the 3 movable planets of Venus, Mercury and Mars, I believe it was. They're the probable planets that it will be. And so, yeah, so it was all complete on Rosh Hashanah, and also is like the Feast of Trumpets as well in 2017. So it was all complete. And the thing is that woman did give birth. And now you've got to cast your minds back and think of it like the first coming. What happened when the baby was born? The woman and Joseph and they took the baby and they fled into Egypt, into the wilderness, away from Herod, if you like, Satan of that time. Of the earth, on the earth, they fled into the wilderness and they stayed there. Now, I believe it was for like 3.5 years. But until Herod was dead anyway, and then they returned, the woman and the kid returned back to Israel for when Herod had died, and everyone who was trying to kill Jesus Christ as a baby boy, which they did, they went and killed all the children that were 2 years and under. Because there's a good point, even Herod and Satan didn't even know where Jesus was. Or if Satan did know where he was as an angel, he still couldn't communicate that to Herod properly. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that, the same thing, but it's in the heavens. So instead of on earth, it's in the heavens. So the woman was impregnated December 16th. 9 months later, she gave birth. The birth sign, Rosh Hashanah, it was all complete in the heavens, and all the stars came in and lined up. So she gave birth. So it's like, well, I asked the question a couple of years after that. It was like, well, why is it taking so long? And also, what happens is when the woman brings forward the man-child to go to God's throne, Satan's going to try and stop it happening. He's going to try and stop it. He's going to try and kill the man-child. And this is why Barack Obama has not been back. That is why you not even heard a peep from him, because the spiritual being, the angel, Satan, or Metatron to the Jews, he has been away with the fairies, if you like, or away with the angels in the spiritual realm, waiting for that event to happen. It's like, this is my attention. I've got to stop the man-child getting to the throne first, and then I can bring forward the false Christ on the earth, stop the real Christ getting to the throne of God, bring forward the real Christ, the fake Christ on the earth, King William, the clone. And then we're going to live happily ever after on the earth and rule it, kind of thing. But that's not how it's going to be, because when Satan tries to stop the man-child being brought forward to the throne, whenever that happens, it says Satan and his angels are going to get thrown down to earth by Michael and his angels. And at that time, then Barack Obama is going to be, Satan is going to be incarnated as Barack Obama, lightning from the heights. And all his angels are going to get thrown down too. So, I mean, there's another gang of clones on the earth. I mean, all of Hollywood actors, as mad as this sounds, they are all clones of people that have come before them. So them angels are going to inhabit human vessels as well. But that hasn't happened yet. We're not at that point. Because you'd know, because Barack Obama would come back on the scene. The New World Order would be on full pelt, because Revelation tells us, it says he's wroth because he knows his time is short. So when he does get thrown down to earth as Barack Obama, he's going to come back on the scene, and it's going to be full tilt. It's going to be as fast as they can do it, and they're not going to care. They're just going to go for it, try and enslave humanity and bring forward the Antichrist, and for everyone to worship him and enslaving humanity with the RFID chip and the mark of the beast, and false worship, false signs, and all that sort of stuff. But it hasn't happened yet. That's the whole point of this, is that it hasn't happened yet. And you know, Satan's been waiting nearly 6 years. That's why Barack Obama has kind of lost his power, if you like, because like I said, the angelic being who was possessing him and empowering him he's got other things on his mind. But you know, when he does get thrown down, it will be as Barack Obama, like Jesus says in Luke 10:18. He wasn't making a testimony of what happened at that time. He was making a prophecy. He says, "I beheld Satan fall as lightning from the heights." And in the Hebrew, lightning from the heights is Baraq Bamah. Baraq, Hebrew word 1300, and Bamah, which is lightning, and then Bamah, the heights, Hebrew word 1116. So his Hebrew name, Barack Obama, means lightning from the heights. So Satan's obviously going to get thrown down, and we're going to see him in our space and time, if you like, as Barack Obama. And he's going to come back on the scene. They already beefed him up as being like the best president that ever has been, and Nobel Peace Prize awards and all this sort of shit. Like, and he's like, you know, it's total mind control, as if he's like the best president. But I mean, we were on the brink, and now that's what I mean. We've had this massive sort of break, pause in prophecy, if you like. And I always ask why. I was like, well, why is that? Because in the old time, it was 2 years old was the man-child, and it's like, okay, well, what about 3.5 years? But then it's like getting on 5 years, and now it's like nearly 6 years. So why? But then something like put my mind at ease when I just looked and thought, well, when does the man-child, the king planet Jupiter, when does it return to Virgo? And it's like, well, it returns in 2029. And of course, I've just made a video about 2029 and the signs in the heavens and the blood moons and everything else that's happened around then. And, you know, December 2029 is still well over, well, it's like 6 years. I mean, we just left the 6th month. So it's like 6 years and 6 months away from that time. So we still have time for the tribulation to happen within that time, running up to 2029. But 2029 is when Jupiter, the king planet, returns to Virgo, or you could say the woman, Israel. And so yeah, so we've been waiting on this sign. So what is going to actually fulfill it? And I guess in a basic term, I could just say, well, for Israel to turn around and say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. So if you see them chanting Baruch haba Bashem Adonai, then you know it's complete, it's fulfilled. By a Messiah they don't believe in. They've fulfilled the prophecy of the Messiahs that they don't believe in, written in a book of the Bible that they don't read. But he says, you will not see me again until you shall say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. And then that relationship. Because it says when Satan's thrown down as Barack Obama, it says he goes off to make war with the woman which brought forward the man-child. See what I mean? So there's that direct connection of the woman Israel bringing forward Jesus Christ for his second coming. and, you know, Barack Obama's wroth with him and will go off to make war with Israel. And I'm thinking that this will all come. It definitely comes before the last 3.5 years, but thinking all this comes at the very beginning, because it's the seal number 2, war outbreak from Israel. I did make a post. I said, woe to Israel, because you're going to allow the hedge of protection to drop, and you're going to allow Satan, Barack Obama, to strike you as he was written in his plan. Read the plan of World War III, and you'll see Satan's plan to start a war between Israel and some of the Arab countries around it, but yet to suck all the other nations into a war, because they're dividing on the issue, you know, Muslims or Jews or Christians, whatever like that. So, yeah, but when's it all going to start is when they say, Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. But I believe there is more to it, and I believe it'll be at a time. It's not just going to be some quiet day where someone's just going to... Another thing is that I believe that this will be fulfilled on the Temple Mount, because this is where Jesus Christ made this prophecy. He stood inside the city walls. He stood inside the city, and he stood on the Temple Mount, and he said, "You will not see me again until you shall say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." Now, you know, 69 weeks of years ago, 483 years ago, someone started rebuilding the walls. A Muslim guy, Solomon the Magnificent. He fulfilled that prophecy of beginning the walls of the city. So we're in the time now where this is going to be fulfilled. And then the city is being rebuilt. They're always sort of building Jerusalem up. But then there's the Temple Mount. It's like, they still don't have control of the Temple Mount. They're not allowed to go up there and pray on the Temple Mount. So I believe that this prophecy may be fulfilled by them being on the Temple Mount. Maybe there'll be a massive protest, a civil war or something, and they'll storm the Temple Mount, and they'll say, Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, like that on the Temple Mount. I believe that's how it will be fulfilled. I know that is very, very specific, but that's how I see it, is that Jesus making that prophecy on the Temple Mount. I believe that it has to be fulfilled like that on the Temple Mount. But the biblical side of it, you have to look at Revelation 5 to see more of how it's going to happen. And how it's going to happen is simply this. The angel, it's going to be a Sabbath day, by the way. This is my own opinion, but I believe that this is going to be a Sabbath day. So this is why I always keep watching. This is the next thing that I am looking for. The inheritance event to happen, and the manchild to be caught up to the throne, to complete Revelation 5 and to continue Revelation 12, okay? What's going to happen is one Sabbath day, Friday sundown till Saturday sundown, keep it. And one day, the angel's going to cry out from heaven, who is worthy to take the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof? And then it says, you see, this is why I say he's in a manger in the heavens, concealed away like he was during the first coming. And in fact, if you read Revelation, he is in another house. Revelation 1 to 3, Jesus Christ is in his own house. And then John ascends to a different house in Revelation 4. And he says, come up here and I'm going to show you things that are going to happen after this time, which is our time. This is going to happen at our time. Revelation 4, and then Revelation 5 is the inheritance event. And so, and in Enoch as well, there's 2 houses. There's one, and then there's the second house. So it's like one house is Jesus Christ, and the other house is the house of God. And I believe that's how it is now. I believe that he's been born, if you like. The Virgin has birthed him in the heavens, if you like, in his own house. And yet that bringing forward of the man-child to the throne, I believe that that is him going from his house to God's house. In fact, that's how Revelation 5 goes. It will continue. So he says, no man in heaven or on earth or under the earth was found worthy. No man in heaven or on earth or under the earth was found worthy. And just by that, in fact, you know, if you heard of anyone with some conspiracy theories about there being civilizations under the earth, well, this has just said that no man under the earth. So there's civilizations under the earth. Whether he's talking about the fallen angels who are buried under the earth, or people that are in hell or what, but no man in heaven or under the earth or on it was found worthy. So I was like, why? Where's Jesus then? I mean, if he's been born in Rosh Hashanah, where is he now? Is he not in the heavens? Is he not? Why is he not being found in the heavens? And the only solution I could come up with is the fact that he's concealed in a manger type thing. He's concealed in a manger since he was born in Rosh Hashanah 2017, and he has been for nearly 6 years, until the time where he's brought forward to the throne. And only Israel can do that. But, you know, as bad as that sounds to, you know, a Christian. But yeah, no man in heaven or on earth or under the earth was found with it. I said, why, God? And then it hit me in the end that he's in his manger. He's concealed from Satan, mainly, from anyone else even. No one was found worthy. And then I believe is only after that angel cries out, who is worthy, and I believe we're gonna hear it like a massive trumpet shofar sound. Who is worthy? And then I believe that's going to be the same day even that Israel are going to storm the Temple Mount. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. But bang! Manger opens, releases the man-child to be caught up to the God's throne. The woman has released the man-child to be, Israel has released the woman to be, has released the man-child to be caught up to God's throne, because they fulfilled the scripture of old. You will not see me again until you say this. And when they say it, bam, the manger's opened, he goes there, and then Satan's going to come there like that, boom, to try and stop it. And Michael's going to come there like that, boom, and then he's going to throw him down to earth, and his angel's going to throw that, a massive, but they have to throw Satan down. This is the common sense side of it for me. They have to throw Satan down to allow the man-child to get to the throne, surely. Do you know what I mean? So I believe all this will happen in kind of like the same day even. That the man-child, like Satan's thrown down, and then the man-child's caught up to God's throne. And then when the man-child is caught up to God's throne, then the celebrations in the heaven happened. It says, well, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the roots of David, he has prevailed to take the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. And I looked, and in the midst there was a lamb, as he looked like he'd been killed, which Jesus had been crucified, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God, which go forth into all the earth. And he came and he took the book from the right hand of him who sat upon the throne. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders all fell down, each of them having harps and golden vials full of odors, and then they sing a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. For you were slain, and you have redeemed us to God by thy blood out of every kindred, language. All right, so it doesn't matter what language you speak, or what you say God's name in, or what you say Jesus Christ's name in, what language you say it in. You have redeemed us to God by your blood from every kindred and tongue and people and nation, from every kindred and language, people and nation. And has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign upon the earth. This is what the 24 elders are saying. which I believe 12 of them are the 12 apostles and 12 must be prophets of old. And then we shall reign upon the earth. And then it says, and then the angels, 10,000 times 10,000 of thousands of angels come round about the throne as well. And they all start singing with a second celebration in the heavens, saying, worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing. And then, celebration number 3, but this is upon the earth. Excuse me. It says, and every creature which is in the heavens, the birds on earth, cows, sheep, under the earth, foxes, rabbits, and such like that are in the sea, obviously fishes, all started saying with a loud voice, blessing and honor and glory and power be unto him who sits upon the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever. And the 4 beasts said, amen. So even the animals are going to celebrate at that time. So imagine that, man. Imagine this event now. You hear the shofar blast. Israel storms the Temple Mount, I believe. They're going to chant. They're going to chant Baruch haba Hashem Adonai. Most of them don't speak English, so if you're on the web, if you're on the live cam, you'll hear them say Baruch haba Hashem Adonai. And I believe they're going to storm the Temple Mount when they do it. And then this completes it. The man-child's caught up to the throne. Satan's thrown down because they have to protect the man-child. He's in his transit, he goes to the throne, and when he's there, the 2 celebrations, and then the one on the earth, all the animals go. Imagine hearing all the animals sing at the same time. I mean, I'd love to be outside. Another thing, you know, I believe this is going to be an early morning type of thing. You know, I mean, people in America that believe in the Sabbath beginning at Saturday morning, and I suppose the SDAs do as well. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, they're going to be like 20 hours behind, you know, Israel starting the proper Sabbath, you know, at Friday sundown. So you want to, you know, keep the Sabbath Friday sundown. This is exactly why I do all my greetings. It's mainly to get people to understand that the Sabbath begins on a Friday and it doesn't matter. I believe that God's going to wait though. I believe he's going to allow the western flanks of Babylon, the Americas, to come into the Sabbath before this event can begin. But maybe not long after. Do you see what I mean? Not after the true. In fact, this event might just totally be over by the time America, even the sun rises in America. Do you know what I mean? And so, yeah, this is basically what we've been waiting on for like nearly 6 years now. So this is why I keep the Sabbath all the time, every week pretty much. And so, yeah, when you see this happen, but you know, I don't believe it's going to be a quiet thing or something that's going to happen unnoticed. I believe that something's going to happen. There's going to be like a civil unrest in Israel, something. They're going to be fighting with each other, maybe. Or there's going to be massive protests even, or against the judicial system, against the government even. And they're going to literally, one Sabbath, just storm it and fulfill the prophecy. And then that's when the man-child. But I believe, like I said, I believe the other things are going to happen first. I believe that'll be the day that the shofar sounds first, asking who is worthy. Israel says, Baruch, blessed is he who comes. He's caught up to the throne. They celebrate in the heavens. And all the animals celebrate on the earth. And then boom, that's it. The inheritance is done. Satan's been thrown down as Baraq Bamah. He's going to come back on the scene pretty much straight away, I would have thought. And then only then the seals can happen. Only then the seals can happen. So So actually I'm quite thankful that I made this video today first, because I was going to make a video about September and about all the things that are pointing to September, and it's pretty much like looking at seal 2 and 3 will happen in September, but seal 1, obviously seal 1 has to happen first. And I suppose it's a good thing I made this video first. You know, I sort of cocked that video up a little bit and it didn't really flow, and I never push things. I always try to feel, you know, if it doesn't feel right or if it doesn't flow, then I don't bother. So yeah, I suppose it's a good thing now, looking, you know, in hindsight now, looking back at it, that we made this video first about, hey, we've been watching for nearly 6 years in September. Because the main fact of it, sorry, the main fact of it is that in September you got Rosh Hashanah again. You got the Feast of Trumpets, you got Rosh Hashanah, and let's say that Jesus is a newborn baby, and you know, it's symbolic for his second birth, his second coming birth, if you like. But let's say he was a newborn baby in September 2017, then he'd be a 6-year-old baby then this year, wouldn't he? Do you see what I mean? So, but yeah, that's all in Rosh Hashanah. In fact, I suppose I can drop it actually, but I think Rosh Hashanah, I'm not quite sure. I'll have to double check actually on that one. And so I just had a little look at my diary for that Rosh Hashanah date, and the new moon's the 15th. So Feast of Trumpets like 15th, 16th, 17th. So, you know, Jesus' proper actual birthday would be like 17th, 18th. So that's what his birthday would be, about the 18th of September. So, yeah, so this year anyway it'll be 6 years, but you know, always keep watch for the inheritance event to begin, for the fulfillment of, you go and read it yourself, Revelation 5 in great detail, and then go and read Revelation 12 and you'll see what I mean, the sign in the heavens, and that was like, so another thing as well is like, that happened in 2017. Jupiter returns in 2029. That's why I was like, well, why is it taking so long? Like 2-year-old man-child. I mean, why isn't the man-child being caught up to the throne now, like it was in the first coming? But it's like, no, hang on a minute. If you look at it as being a 12-year cycle, and let's say the tribulation period will be 6 years and 3.5 months, 5.5 years. Yeah, so it's about right, isn't it? So you would have a 5.5 year gap, because hey, this tribulation has got to come, you know, between now and then. The tribulation, let's say, has got to be finished in 2029. So obviously it can only start at a certain time. So that's why you have the big gap here. You see what I mean? Explain, but what I'm trying to say is the reason we've been waiting, the reason that we've been waiting for Satan to attack the man-child for so long, when he attacked the kids that were 2 years and under in the first coming, is because it has to happen at the right time, basically. And we've got this 12-year cycle, see? So yeah, I hope this makes sense. I know I've gone on a little bit, but so what? Anyway, I've been Pastor Prophet Justin Roberts from End of the Age Bible Prophecy. God bless you all. I mean, we know that the time is short, so pray God for forgiveness of your sins, and in Jesus' mighty name you will be saved, and he'll wash away the sins out of your book of life, and you should be saved. And then you can put new wine into new wineskins, and then you can go out and do your good works. You can keep the commandments, but first you need to be saved, and first you have to have that humbleness and that non-pridefulness to say, I am a sinner, please forgive me of my sins, and you will be saved. And then forgive others of what they've done against you, and you're saved. And then you can go out and do good works. So God bless you all anyway. Amen.